show you what I do when I have to rework a canvas. This one I thought was okay, and as time has progressed, I've realized it's not one of my best ones. So I'll come back in and I can paint on top of it because it's sealed with an acrylic, polyacrylic sealer. So I can just lay on top of it, even though I think it's finished, until it's finally finished. Sometimes I kind of completely paint over them, and sometimes I just touch them up. This morning I'm not really sure which way we're going to go, but I'm going to give it a shot and see if I can make it a little bit better. Plus, I love this green tone that's in here, and I use it a lot, but I'm beginning to realize it's not one of the best colors for a face, because it kind of makes them look sick. And I don't talk and paint very well, so I'm just going to kind of paint. The canvas is too wet right now, so what's happening is I've laid too much water on top of it, and I can't get the paint to stick to the canvas. And it doesn't take very much, but there's just too much water, so my paint won't stick. There, that's better. And when it doesn't stick, you continue to try to work it, and you usually just wind up making mud. I spray painted these gears onto the background thinking it would be great, and I got a little heavy-handed with them. So what I'm trying to do is back some of that out. It's really easy to put too much and overwork a canvas, and the way that I paint, once it's overworked, there's really no bringing it back, which is kind of a shame because it's really easy to do. This is just a rag, and what I do is when I put too much paint on, I can take that rag and just pull some of it back off. It's not a magic rag, it's just an old t-shirt. I kind of tend to use whatever I have around instead of buying more. I forgot his crease beside his lips, so his face was, or her face, I don't know whether this is a man or a woman, but forgot to put this crease in the face, and it leaves them really flat, and it just looks like the lips are stuck on with glue or something when you do that. I haven't been painting much because of the pandemic, and I've got so much work just laying around, it's kind of depressing. So it takes a little bit to get back into practice sometimes. Oh well, often. Saying sometimes, but pretty much as always. I don't worry much about making mistakes. I used to, but now I just paint, and if I make a mistake, I'll fix it later, or I'll decide it's not a mistake. Sometimes I think something's a mistake or not the best way to do it, and later it looks pretty good. So I always try to tell people to, before you critique your work and rework it and rework it and rework it, live with it a couple of days at least, and see if it really needs to be fixed, or if you just made a Bob Ross and his happy accidents. I kind of like that guy. He was a master at using a brush. So if you want to learn how to load a brush and move a brush around the canvas, those Bob Ross videos are actually a really good way to do it. Just watch the way he moves his hands and watch how he loads the paint onto the paintbrush. I use a paintbrush more than I used to because I have used my fingers up and I've got arthritis in all my fingers. But usually when I'm touching a piece up like this, my thumbs and my fingers work a whole lot better than a paintbrush. But that's my style, not so much the way you're supposed to do it. In fact, that's probably not what you're supposed to do. This is no magic. This is just a spray bottle with water in it. But why I use it is I like the flow of the paint. So lots of times I'll spray it, but the trick with using the drip thing, because it looks so easy to do, you really have to leave it alone, because if I go back into that and try to work with it some way, I'm going to lose the fluid flow of that, and it winds up looking pretty weird. I know that because I've done it 1,000 times, and every time I do it I remember, oh yeah, don't do that. Well, it's already looking better to me. Actually, the best thing I did was to put those creases so it doesn't look so flat. Anyway, this kind of gives you an idea of how you can rework a piece if you're not satisfied with it, or if it doesn't do what you want to do. But live with them for a little while and then go back in and rework it. It's finished, I think, now.